So if you're a RenPy developer and you have a paid game out there in the market, you might be concerned about piracy. Here's one way to have some form of copy protection, but it relies on RenPy's Steam integration. So if your game is not on Steam, then this will not work for your case. First, in the init Python block, we are going to build an archive. If you've ever downloaded another RenPy game from a different developer, you might have seen an RPA file in the game folder. This is how you build one for yourself. And each line specifies the different file types that will be included in the archive. So if you have MP3s, you need to add .mp3 to this list. If you have other file types, you need to add them here. This is just what I have in my build. Next up in the init Python block, we're going to be creating a custom function which requires OS, and what this does is it deletes the RPA archive, or at least it tries to. Outside of the init Python block, we're going to be setting a default value for persistent.thisGuy. You can name this variable anything, it's just what I chose, and we're going to be setting it as empty quotes. And then in your splash label, splash is like the splash screen that the user sees upon boot up, we are going to be creating a few checks. First and most important is if achievement.steam is not equal to none. If you do not have this, I've been told that bad things happen. So the first check on this list is if the subscribed app is equal to whatever your app ID is. This is just zeros, but you would put in the app ID of your game. And you can easily find that on the Steamworks website. Next, we're going to be checking for a DLC that you have created beforehand. This DLC is not going to be available publicly, but it will have been created. What am I talking about? I have a DLC called World Without Reason Unblessed Mode. This is not meant to be public. This is just a fake-out DLC that no one should ever be able to download. And if they do, I know that they're probably using some sort of hack tool. So if for some reason they have downloaded my fake-out DLC, then RenPy quits. This is reversed above because we want to ensure that the app ID of the game that's currently playing is what we expect. The next check is if persistent.thisGuy is empty quotes, then it assigns the value as the ID of the player. This never changes. Unlike the profile name, this is consistent no matter how many times you update your profile name on Steam. The next boot up, persistent.thisGuy should have a value, so the next check kicks in. And if persistent.thisGuy is not equal to their account ID, then RenPy quits. And you're probably wondering, where does Def Garden come in? Well, this is for you to decide. If you believe that the best course of action is to just wipe out the RPA file and prevent them from ever launching the game again, then call the garden function instead of calling renpy.quit. But again, if you believe that there is a 100% chance of them having an illegitimate copy of your game, then instead of renpy.quit, you would do garden parentheses. And that deletes the RPA file. It doesn't even appear in the recycling bin. It just straight up wipes it from your storage. But this is just one way to fight piracy. It's not foolproof. There are probably other ways that are better, but this is what I thought of.